Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. Let's get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news, all eyes will be on the 2 p.m. RBNZ announcement today of its monetary policy update, where it is widely expected that a 50 basis point rate hike will be announced. But first up today, there was another dairy auction earlier, and it was a lame affair. Overall prices fell 1.5% in US dollar terms, but were virtually unchanged in New Zealand dollar terms because of the shift lower in our exchange rate. The key whole milk powder price fell 2%, and skim milk powder was down 2.4%, but there were offsetting gains for butter and cheddar, indicating returning demand from the Chinese food services sector. The recent storms here that will curtail overall milk supply seem to have very little impact on the attitude of buyers. In the US, there was a surprising improvement in their services PMI, shifting from contracting in January to an expansion in February, according to the internationally benchmarked market version. The growth in new orders is slowing, but just at a slower rate. This is more evidence they may either have a soft landing there or possibly no recession at all. However, their existing home sales market is still retreating. In January, it fell 0.7% after a December 2.2% fall. That has been a disappointment because a 2% rise was anticipated. These volumes are now 37% lower than year ago levels, and the January activity is now the 12th straight month of decline. Canada released its inflation rate for January today, coming in lower at 5.9% when a 6.1% was expected, and December was at 6.3%. In Canadian retail sales for December ran at a 7.3% ahead of year ago levels, so they're ahead of the inflation rate there. In Australia, the latest RBA minutes show clearly that they never considered pausing their string of rate hikes in their campaign against their stubborn inflation impulse. And staying in Australia, jobs site Seek has shifted its guidance for its full-year revenue and profit to the lower end of the forecast range as the pandemic-fueled hiring spree loses steam there. The US Treasury 10-year yield starts today at 3.94% and up 8 basis points from yesterday, and its highest since mid-November. And the price of gold will open today at $1,834 an ounce and down $7 from this time yesterday. And oil prices start today little changed at $76.50 a barrel in the US, while the international Brent price is still at $82.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is now at 62.2 US cents and a tad lower than this time yesterday. Against the Australian dollar, we're little changed at 90.5 Australian cents, and against the euro, we're lower at 58.3 euro cents. However, that all takes our trade-weighted index below 70 for the first time since November, now at 69.9. Get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.